Good morning and Hafa Day. We are here today to present resolution number 160-36 COR, which was co-sponsored by Vice Speaker Tina Rose Muña Barnes, myself, Senator Mary Camacho Torres, and my colleague, Senator Amanda L. Shelton. This resolution is relative to recognizing Brent Tipton for his dedication to Guam's youth and athletes and commending him for his more than a decade of service to the basketball community of Guam. Be it resolved by the Committee on Rules of the Imina 36 na Legislature ng Guahan. Speaker Amanda Shelton.
Whereas Brent Tipton is from the state of Missouri and graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in Physical Education from Northland International University in Wisconsin and a Master of Science degree in Sports Coaching from the United States Sports Academy in Alabama. And Brent Tipton and his lovely wife, Katie, moved to Guam to pursue teaching and had their son, Soren. He first began teaching at Harvest Christian Academy, where he taught physical education for 5 years, and he would later go on to teach physical education at VSA Benavente Middle School and serve as a coach at Southern High School. During this time on Guam, Brent Tipton has had an extensive career coaching basketball teams, and in 2012, he began working as a head coach in Guam youth development. He led sessions that taught the fundamental details of individual technique and team tactics to under 16, under 17, and under 18 players. He developed a system of play to enhance player comprehension and skill acquisition of technique and tactics. He conducted training sessions to create a habit of play to correspond with the player's individual needs. And he coordinated and directed player development camps and day-to-day operations and practices. From 2012 to 2016, Brent served as the head coach for the under-18 Guam men's national team, and under his leadership, he led them to compete at the under-18 FIBA Oceania Championships in Australia, Saipan, and Fiji. And in 2013, he served as a head coach for the Guam women's senior national team, leading them to participate at the 2013 East Asian Games in Tianjin, China. From 2013 to 2016, Brent served as the head coach for the under-16 Guam men's national team, leading them to win a gold medal at the 2015 under-16 Micronesia Basketball Championships held in Garapan, Saipan. And from 2016 to 2019, he served as a head coach at the University of Guam. And while serving there, he built a brand new basketball program. He led the team to victory in the Guam Basketball League Championship in the 2017-2018 season, and he signed the first ever recruiting class for the University of Guam's men's basketball team in 2017, with players from the US mainland and Guam. And since 2018, he has been serving as the head coach for the under-17 Guam men's national team. From 2018 to 2020, Brent served as an assistant coach for the Guam men's senior national team, focusing on scouting opponents, video analysis, and player development.
Whereas, although Brent Tipton has coached on Guam for many years, he has used his expertise in basketball to serve in multiple capacities around the world. Since 2015, he has served as the regional director of the Basketball Embassy for Asia and Oceania. And through the Basketball Embassy, he served as the assistant director of the Basketball Embassy's annual international camp held in San Antonio, Texas. He served as an instructor for the FIBA Europe Youth Development Project in Volgograd, Bulgaria. He served in the selection process for the country's under-15 national team to compete in the European Championships, and he led the group development sessions of more than 350 players ages U10 to U18, focusing on the fundamentals of individual technique and team tactics at the International Basketball Camp in Gabravo, Bulgaria. Whereas Brent served as the assistant director for the week-long camp Stalmart Basketball Club in Iasi, Romania, focusing on teaching the fundamentals of the game in both individual technique and team tactics. He represented Guam with 70 other countries at Camp Pasadon in Istanbul, Turkey, where he also recruited and accompanied two 14-year-old Guam national players, one male and one female, to participate in Camp Pasadon. He instructed daily stations and coached the campers in the 5-on-5 format at the youth basketball camp at the University of Texas in San Antonio, Texas. And he conducted a basketball clinic for children in partnership with the Children's Hospital in the city of Iloilo, Philippines. And in 2018, Brent became the vice president of the Guam National Olympic Committee Coaches Commission. And since then, he has developed and implemented a national coaching framework based on each national federation's international coaching standards. He organized coaching seminars beneficial to national federations and grassroots communities. He created a Guam National Coaching Certification System, and he established a database of certified coaches on Guam through each national federation. And whereas Brent has also done consultation for the Indonesian Basketball Federation, the Malaysian Basketball Federation, the Basketball Association of Singapore, Humber College in Ontario, Canada, Windsor University in Ontario, Canada, and the University of Prince Edward Island in Charlottetown, Canada. He conducted webinars on each team defense transition offense for Federation coaches that served for FIBA Level 1 accreditation. He consulted coaches with feedback on their homework tasks for their FIBA Level 1 accreditation, and he provided feedback and ideas to their program's current offensive and defensive concepts. And Brent has always been known for his transformational style of coaching, bringing each aspect of training and development with empathy, kindness, and a true desire to serve his players. His students, teams, and colleagues have seen him accomplish this style of coaching through his building meaningful relationships with players and empowering them to explore solutions through a game-based approach, which has led him to collaborate well with others in this field around the Asia-Pacific region and globally. And Brent will soon be departing Guam to serve as the assistant coach of the Porsche Basketball Academy youth program in Germany. And although he will be greatly missed, the island's youth and athletes extend their gratitude for his incomparable and invaluable service and love for the sport of basketball on Guam. Now, therefore, be it resolved. Amanda, can you continue, please?
That the Committee on Rules of Iminatrantaisais na Legislatur Guahan does hereby, on behalf of the Legislatur Guahan and the people of Guam, recognize Brent Tipton for his dedication to Guam's youth and athletes and commend him for his more than a decade of service to the basketball community of Guam. And be it further resolved, the Speaker and the Chairperson of the Committee on Rules certify, and the Legislative Secretary attest to the adoption hereof, same thereafter be transmitted to Brent Tipton and to the Honorable Lourdes A. Leon Guerrero, Imagahagan Guahan.
Thank you, Mr. Tipton. We most sincerely present this resolution to you and commend you not only for your accomplishments, but for making a very positive impact on our community on Guam. I'm sure you'll leave behind a long list of people who join me in expressing their gratitude to you, and also our congratulations and our best wishes to you in your future endeavors. And I would like to also ask you to please extend a few remarks, if you will. I know that there are many people here that would like to hear from you before you depart for Guam tomorrow.
Sure. It's an incredible honor to receive this. And then when my wife had surprised me that this was going to happen, I was quite overwhelmed just to receive this. So I just want to say thank you. What's really cool is Rio and Kaipo and Shirag were three of the guys who I first met when I came to Guam as their PE teacher. And although Shirag didn't play basketball, he was one of those students who you walk into school and he immediately put a smile on your face just because of his energy, his enthusiasm. Just one of those really cool. Well, he was in eighth grade and I met him, so he's kind of goofy. But I remember he wore so much Axe after we would shower. He'd put on so much Axe, and he always smelled good. But Shirag was just one of those guys who you knew just through how he treated other people and how he was as a person, that he was going to go far in life, and just seeing the choices that he's made over the last couple of years, you're seeing his success there. One of the first memories I have of Rio, I shaved his head. That was one of the first things that I did with Rio. I was buzzing my head at the time, and he came up to me. He's like, "I want to buzz my head." And he was in eighth grade, and outside one of the classrooms at Harvest, I cut his hair. So that was one of the first memories I had of him, and of course, coaching him at Harvest. And then we went to the Philippines and did a missions trip there to Iloilo, and just seeing him grow into a young man and starting a family has been a real joy to see him. And then the first time I met Kaipo, we were actually at the St. Paul gym, and he's a skinny eighth grader, and he had longer hair. It was combed over, comes up to me. I have no idea who he was. And he approached me and he says, "I'm Pinoy." And I didn't know what that meant, because I just came straight from the States. I had no idea what that represented, but he was so proud of his heritage, and getting to know Kaipo and his passion to live life. You're seeing that the choices that he's made since that first time I met him, seeing the success that he's had, and he's following his dreams of being a PT. And it's just really cool to see family here, and people that have impacted me in one way, shape, or form. It's humbling, and I'm very grateful. So it's an honor to receive it, and family and friends and former players and students, thank you for sharing this experience with us.
Senator Amanda, would you like to share a few words?
Oh, thank you very much, Senator Mary. Half a day, everyone. Congratulations, Mr. Tipton. Thank you very much for your service to the people of Guam. I was really moved by all of the work that you've done here and how you've made this place your home and taken so many children, so many of our students under your wing to change their lives. And I know that Shirag shared with me what an important part of his life you were. So we're very honored that we can be able to recognize you here and the impact that you've had on so many of Guam's youth. Siduos Masi, and we wish you the best of luck in this next chapter of your life, to you and your family.
Thank you.
Katie, we also congratulate you, because we understand that his success, the success of your husband, is all shouldered in great part by your contributions. So Siduos Ma'asi also for all that you've done while on Guam, in support of your husband, your family, and the community that has relied on your very good services as well. But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention our Vice Speaker, Tina Rose Muña Barnes, who championed this resolution. A great basketball lover herself, an athlete at one point in her youth. But she unfortunately was not able to be on board with us, but she wanted to make sure that we carried her heart in this resolution, and that we expressed her utmost gratitude and Siduos Ma'asi to you also, and best wishes as you depart Guam. And I just want to end by saying I hope that as you go to Europe now, that Guam will forever be in your heart, and that you will always remember that you have a home here on Guam if you should ever decide to make your way back here or travel through. We certainly, the one comment that I heard from people when I asked about Brent Tipton, it was, he's a great guy. You may not know him personally, but you know that he was a good man, and he cared enough for the people to do a lot of good for our youth. So, Siduos Ma'asi again.
Thank you, Senator.
Shirag, since you've been highlighted, do you have any words that you'd like to share to the family of Mr. Tipton?
Both Mr. Tipton and Mrs. Tipton were my teachers at Harvest. They gave me probably the most attentions, but I'm glad it helped make me a better person, and excited for you, Coach, and sad to see you leave.
Thank you, Shirag.
Okay. At this point, then I'd like to call this resolution presentation to a close. And we will certainly deliver a copy of the resolution to you today before you depart. I hope that you will hang it proudly in your new office in Germany. And remember that, like I said, you always have a home in Guam, and you certainly made an impression on many youth on our island. And we are truly grateful for that. So
Thank you.
Sidzuis Masi and Hafa Day, and have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.